if you're walking through Chinatown at night,
or just admiring the beauty of a sunset in Bali.
the way you pick your colors when color grading is very important.
You can trust me in a warm, happy feeling, or just a melancholic, sad moment. Color is everything in filmmaking. One reason films like Blade Runner 2049 chose a very specific monochromatic palette is so that this specific visual atmosphere helped enhance the storytelling. A monochromatic color palette helps set the tone of the film and helps transmit a very specific emotion within the films. For example, in Blade Runner 2049, the use of muted and desaturated tones with a touch of neon helps create this feeling of dystopia. This stylized color not only helps create this illusion of futurism and just immersion within the film, but also helps convey emotion within the characters. On another example, like in The Matrix, this monochromatic color palette not only increases tension throughout the whole movie, but also helps transmit this digital screen-like look they were going for. So can we just make a lot, or do we need to shoot accordingly for this to work? Well, let's take a look at a few examples, a few screen grabs that I grabbed from films that have very monochromatic color palettes. For example, this from Mad Max, or from the Grand Budapest Hotel, or from Her. And even going back to The Matrix and Blade Runner, do you notice anything specific? Well, the main thing is that all actors throughout these whole movies, their costumes are very, very specific. Everything they're wearing is very neutral. And also the way the scenes are lit are very, very specific. So you wouldn't see something lit with a lot of color, but mostly lit with a very specific light. This helps create this beautiful effect in post-production, because this scene, for example, from Blade Runner that we all love, with all of these oranges, it wasn't actually orange on set. They did that in post-production. And talking about lighting, lighting plays a big roles when we're trying to color grade something to look very monochromatic. If you notice, all of these movies that I selected have a very specific, moody, just toned down kind of lighting, nothing too harsh, and also they have so much haze. Haze helps sell this effect so much, and luckily I have a few shots here in Bali with haze, so we're gonna try and color grade this one to look very monochromatic. The reason haze helps sell this effect, it's because it just creates this depth that is very easy to color grade and change the colors. So if the haze looks right, your scene will look right. So just try remember that if you're trying to shoot something for a very monochromatic color grading. So getting into color grading, I recommend you starting from a Rec 709 point or from a LUT point. And honestly, what I recommend doing, since it's for free, it's just using one of the tutorials that I recently did about DaVinci Resolve and how to use the integrated Kodak 23A3 LUT. This way, I think is the best starting point for any monochromatic looks, because this is already a very filmic looking LUT. We're just gonna tame it down a little bit, and then it's gonna work in our favor. So once you're happy with the node 3 and how the footage looks, let's add one more node, and this is where we're gonna create the monochromatic look. There are probably many ways of doing this. This is just my way of doing it, and I don't think this is the right way. I don't think it's the wrong way. I just think it works. Every time I make a DaVinci tutorial, there's a few people commenting that this is not the right way, this is not the wrong way. Honestly, I think that if it works for you, that's it. Let's just be happy together and don't spread too much hate, because it's 2025, so let's just be happy. So the way I like to do this, it's simply using primary wheels. I usually start with the highlights and the shadows and then adjust the midtones, but I never touch the wheel itself. I just touch the RGB colors at the bottom and I slide them left to right until I find the color palette that I'm going for. And to get this color palette, the most important part is to grab a still from a still of a movie that you want to recreate, and then make sure you have that still compared next to the shot that you're actually color grading, so that you can check in real time if you're doing a good job, if you're getting the right colors, if you're not getting the right colors. This is the most important part when creating a very specific grade that looks like a film. And I do this all the time. Whenever I want to do a specific color grade or something different that I haven't done before, I have my start, which is my LUT or my note tree that I use usually. And then on top of that, I have a still of a movie, and I try and recreate the same colors using the primary wheels and using the colors. Look, obviously this is not something easy to do. It takes a lot of time and a lot of practice, and you just need to get your eye used to the colors that you're trying to reach. But as you can see in these examples, it's not that hard to get to that point. And once you get to that point, you can simply copy and paste it onto any other footage where you're probably going to have a different light because you're shot in natural light, unless you shot in a studio or with controlled light. But I'm making this video for you guys to understand that not every shot is the same, not every shot will react the same. So if you color grade one shot and it looks beautiful like this one, then you copy and paste it onto something else and it doesn't, it's because the light has changed, maybe your white balance, if it was an auto, has changed. To be honest, there's so many things that can change, especially when it's like me and you, running gun, going around, shooting in natural light, things change. So you have to be able, if you want to create a specific color grading, to adapt your color grading to different shots. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope you learned something new. I find this actually very useful, especially when shooting something like a sunset or like a blue hour or like in a city. I really enjoy creating very monochromatic looks, so I wanted to create this as a first DaVinci Resolve tutorial from my side in 2025. Again, I'm so appreciative for sticking around until here. I have slowly grown so much on YouTube over the past year or 2 years, and I'm not stopping here. I'm looking forward to 2025 and create a bunch of videos that can hopefully help you in your filmmaking journey. So again, thanks so much for sticking around. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.